What is the horniest thing you've ever done? Story 1. Drove an hour in to see a girl I had previously made out with because she said she needed a fuck buddy for the night. Got to her place around 9, hung out with her and her roommate for a little bit, then went to the bedroom. She totally shut down my attempts to initiate anything physical and said it was just the alcohol talking earlier and that she was not DTF at all. So we just cuddled for a bit and fell asleep. At 3 a.m. she wakes up and runs out of the room. I'm like, okay, WTF, and then go back to sleep. Next thing I know, she turns on the lights and tells me to get out. Had a very long drive and total confusion back to my place. Got home at 4:30 a.m., virginity still 100% intact. Story 2. A girl who I never thought in a million years would want to, invited me to dinner at her home with her parents. We were in high school at the time, diff schools, and had been talking/dating but nothing more than kissing at the time. I had no car, so she picked me up and she lived in a straight-up mansion. Her father, who I thought was a lawyer, apparently did something for the government. I was clearly dating up as far as social standards go. Dinner went well. Parents loved me. I was riding high when they asked if I'd mind staying and watching a movie with them. Mom/dad had one couch and me/date had other. I'm on my best behavior when date lays her hat on my leg/lap. God damn it. It's dark, other than the movie. Date grabs a couch pillow and somewhat puts it on my lap, but mostly blocks her parents' view of her head/my area. You can guess what she was going for, but I kept trying to play it cool and block her. I felt it was so obvious and I wanted her parents to keep liking me and not try to kill me and chase me out of their house and all that. Well, once I got a little excited, I didn't seem to care as much. All I did was focus on not moving and keeping my face as normal as possible. I don't remember what the hell movie we were watching, but her parents must have been fucking captivated. That or they were the weirdest, most polite parents I'd ever met. I gave the 3 courteous 10 seconds warning taps and she made no other notion of acknowledgement other than squeeze my leg. I'd cow my eyes didn't roll to the back of my head, let alone off my face. She zipped my pants back up, laid back down as if nothing had happened. I felt like I was watching someone else's life play out, but it was me. Since it was late, Dad offered to take me home. I got nervous and kissed my date on the cheek as we left. Dad let me drive his brand new Cadillac, all the while telling me he was so glad his daughter found such a nice young man. I felt a twinge of guilt, but overall like I had just gotten away with some kind of bank robbery. Story 3. Matched with a girl on Match.com way back, when it was all website and email only. Anyways, matched with this girl in first conversation. By some miracle, we agreed that she was gonna come over that night, go right to my bedroom, bang, and she'd leave. Vape, that's exactly what happened. Both happy. Roughly a month later, I'm walking into a company for a job interview and one of the interviewers was her. Got the job. I walked into lobby of the building waiting. I get called into the back and being introduced to everyone in a small office, and as I'm brought to her area, we immediately lock eyes, both immediately know and both reacted like we didn't know each other. Walking away, I saw her immediately talking to her cubicle mate, all excited, telling her, I assume, about our hookup. During the interview, very professional, asked the toughest questions. Story 4. I went to go meet a girl on her last night before she moved to a different state so she could suck my dick. She really wanted to for some reason. I'm parked at her apartment waiting for her to come into my car. As I'm waiting, she asks for a pic of my hard dong, so I jack off a little to get hard, and I end up coming in like 10 seconds, so I turn my phone off and drive home before she ever gets to my car. I was so ashamed, lol. Story 5. I went to a woman's house, late at night, in rural upstate NY. We had been talking to each other via email at the time, about 1997. We met via Yahoo Personals. Neither of us knew what the other looked like. Not everyone had a scanned picture. I went over at 11 p.m. on a Friday night. I didn't have a roommate at the time. Went into a completely dark house, located in the woods, and had sex with a woman whom I had known for a couple of weeks with just several phone calls between us. When the morning came, we were both attracted to each other. We ended up dating for almost a year. It worked out, but seriously, it was a stupid thing to do. Story 6. My friend had a story how he was 15 and on the way home from his volleyball tournament with his parents in the front of the minivan, his grandma in the middle seat, and him laying in the very back row seats. He had a blanket, so decided to masturbate. Apparently grandma and mom were sleeping while dad was driving. Shortly after starting, he noticed his dad stopped humming all of a sudden, then quickly turned the music up louder. At the time he only thought, awesome, now it'll be harder for him to notice with the music louder. In hindsight, he realized his dad definitely noticed while checking his rear view mirror, that the stoppage of humming was from shock, and that turning the music up was to distract himself and try to drown out the noises. I thought my friend was just a freak, in that sense, but apparently this car scenario is not terribly uncommon. Story 7. When I was 19, I had a huge crush on a friend of my brother's. We were all hanging out at my brother's house one night. Bro goes to bed and I realized his friend was into me too. So we made out and talked for hours, and agreed it was a good thing that we were at my brother's house and wouldn't be able to hook up so we could just get to know each other better and not move too fast. A few minutes later I looked at him and said, or we could just have sex in my car? Drove around the corner at 3 a.m. to a dirt parking lot and fucked in the backseat. Turned into a 2-year relationship though. Ah, memories.